Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today, we're talking about a quarter that's currently making headlines and turning heads in the world of numismatics, the 2007 Wyoming State Quarter. But this isn't just any ordinary quarter, we're talking about a coin with a unique twist that has pushed its value to an astonishing $1.5 million in the market. How did a simple state quarter get such a high value, and why is everyone scrambling to find one in their pocket change? Let's explore. Let's start by going back to the beginning. The Wyoming State Quarter is part of the famous 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This program was launched by the United States Mint to honor each of the 50 U.S. states with unique designs featured on the back of quarters. In 2007, the Wyoming State Quarter was released, featuring a design of a bucking bronco and a rider, a classic symbol of Wyoming, representing the state's heritage and the spirit of the Old West. The 2007 Wyoming State Quarter, as the P indicates, was minted in Philadelphia. And while millions of these coins were made for general circulation, a rare error on some of these quarters has made them worth a jaw-dropping amount of money today. So, why is this 2007 Wyoming quarter so special? The answer lies in an unusual minting error. Some of these Wyoming quarters have what's called the die break error, asterisk, or the ghost horse error. A die break occurs when the die used to strike the coin develops a crack, and the metal then fills in this crack when the coin is minted, resulting in a raised line or an unusual design. On the Wyoming State Quarter, this error caused the image of the bronco and the rider to appear partially missing or blurry, almost as if the horse were fading away, hence the nickname, ghost horse. This type of minting error is rare, and collectors love a good error coin. It's these unexpected and unique flaws that make coins like this highly sought after, significantly increasing their value in the collector's market. You might be wondering, how can an error turn a mere quarter into $1 million treasure? Well, the 2007 Wyoming State Quarter has done just that. In recent years, one of these rare error quarters sold for an incredible $1.5 million at auction. Why? It all comes down to a few key factors: rarity, condition, and demand. First, the rarity of the error itself is critical. Not many of these flawed coins made it into circulation. Collectors who specialize in error coins are always on the lookout for these rarities, and with only a handful available, the competition gets fierce. Secondly, the condition of the coin plays a massive role. The quarter that sold for $1.5 million was in mint state condition, meaning it was nearly flawless, despite the error. It hadn't been in circulation for long, so it had very few marks or scratches. This pristine condition made it highly desirable to serious collectors, and finally, it's all about demand. Coin collecting has grown exponentially, with enthusiasts willing to pay top dollar for unique pieces. The story of a flawed quarter that represents a mistake in an otherwise meticulous minting process creates an aura of mystery and uniqueness that collectors simply can't resist. Alright, I know what you're thinking, asterisk, could I have one of these valuable quarters in my pocket right now, asterisk. Well, it's time to grab your spare change and take a closer look. Here's how to identify if you have a potential $1.5 million Wyoming quarter. Start by checking under the "In God We Trust" inscription on the front of the coin. If there is a P, it means the coin was minted in Philadelphia, and that's a good first sign. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the reverse side of the coin, the side with the horse and rider. If you see that the design looks incomplete or ghostly, with parts of the horse or rider missing or blurry, you may have found the coveted error. Look for additional die break marks. These are typically small, raised lines or blobs of metal, often located around the bronco. The uniqueness of these marks can increase the value even further. If you think you have a match, it might be worth getting your coin graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can confirm whether your quarter is truly the $1 million error coin. Now, let's talk about current market value and what the future might hold for this rare error coin. While the record sale price of the 2007 Wyoming Ghost Horse quarter reached $1.5 million, it's important to note that not every error coin will fetch this price. The value depends heavily on the condition of the coin and the uniqueness of the error. In recent auctions, similar Wyoming quarters with minor die break errors have sold for anywhere between $5,000 to $50,000. Even those in less than perfect condition can still be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, much more than their face value of 25 cents. Looking forward, the demand for error coins is only increasing as more collectors enter the market. If you happen to have one of these rare coins, it could be worth holding onto it, as its value may continue to rise over time. As long as there is a fascination with error coins, the 2007 Wyoming State Quarter will remain a prized collectible. So there you have it, folks, the story of how a humble state quarter became one of the most valuable coins in modern U.S. history. From a simple minting mistake to a collector's dream, the 2007 Wyoming State Quarter shows us how even the smallest flaws can turn an ordinary object into a treasure worth millions. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Who knows? You might have a small fortune hidden in your pocket change, just waiting to be discovered. We're diving into an incredible coin story. It's about a humble $250 that could be worth, wait for it, $1.3 million. That's right, I'm talking about the 2019 D Mint Mark $250. If you're into coin collecting, or even if you just want to know if that loose change in your pocket is secretly worth a fortune, stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let's jump into the fascinating history, the value, and why this 2019 quarter might just make you a millionaire. First things first, let's talk about where this coin comes from. The 2019 D Mint Mark Quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which the U.S. Mint introduced to commemorate different national parks and historic sites across the United States. In 2019, the series featured quarters celebrating places like Lowell National Historical Park, American Memorial Park, War in the Pacific National Historical Park, San Antonio Missions, and the Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness. The D in the mint mark means that the coin was minted in Denver, which is one of the main production facilities of the U.S. Mint, alongside Philadelphia, San Francisco, and West Point. What makes the 2019 D Mint quarters interesting, and potentially valuable, is the combination of their scarcity, unique errors, and collector demand. Let's get into why this quarter is a big deal in the coin community and what makes it worth much more than just 25 cents. Okay, let's answer the million-dollar question, literally. Why is this quarter worth so much? The 2019 D Mint Mark quarter became a sensation because of a few factors. The most significant of these is rarity. Some 2019 quarters have significant errors that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. Error coins, those struck with mistakes during production, are like gold in the numismatic world. Imagine a minting mistake, such as a double die, an off-center strike, or even a planchet flaw. The planchet is the metal disc used to make the coin. In some cases, there are reports of die cracks, giving these quarters a very distinctive look that makes them stand out from the millions of regular coins. Another key factor is the low mintage and high grade of some of these coins. Grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, determine the quality of the coin on a scale from 1 to 70. A MS 69 or MS 70 2019 D Mint Mark quarter, meaning almost perfect or completely flawless, can demand a staggering price because of its rarity. In 2019, collectors started noticing these high-grade coins coming in with unique characteristics, and the demand quickly rose. In fact, as more and more collectors sought to get their hands on a perfect specimen, the value shot up. Today, a rare error coin or an extremely high-grade quarter can be appraised in the hundreds of thousands, even approaching the million-dollar mark in some exceptional cases. Alright, so where did this $1.3 million valuation come from? Is it hype, or is there real money to be made here? To understand this price, you have to think about auction markets and the collectors driving these sales. In early 2023, a collector's auction for rare coins featured a 2019 D quarter with a unique die error that had been graded MS 70. The bidding was intense, and the final sale approached an astounding $1.3 million. This wasn't just about the coin itself, it was about the story behind it, the uniqueness, and the fact that it was a one-of-a-kind find. Coin collectors, especially those with deep pockets, value uniqueness above all else. If a coin is the only known specimen of its kind, it can become a trophy piece for someone's collection. With very few known 2019 D quarters reaching that perfect condition, the law of supply and demand kicks in hard. That's how the value can skyrocket to such impressive heights. So, how can you tell if that 2019 D Mint quarter you found is worth a fortune? First, check for the D Mint mark right below the "In God We Trust" motto on the front of the coin. If it's there, congratulations, you have a Denver minted 2019 quarter. Next, you'll want to inspect the coin closely. Look for any errors, such as doubling on the lettering, a weird texture on the coin's surface, or anything that just doesn't look quite right. Remember, imperfections during the minting process can make your coin very special. To truly determine its value, you'll need to have it graded. You can send your coin to a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC, who will examine it and give it a grade. Coins that come back with grades in the high MS60s or even MS70 will command the highest values. And if your coin has any interesting errors, it could be worth a small fortune. Now, let's talk about the current market value. Not every 2019 D quarter is worth millions, far from it. A typical 2019 D quarter that you find in circulation is probably still worth just 25 cents. However, if you have a high-grade or error coin, you're looking at significantly higher values. As of now, high-grade versions, such as MS65 and above, can fetch anywhere from $100 to $5,000 depending on the condition and type of error. But those few ultra-rare, near-perfect coins? Well, the market has seen them go from $100,000 up to that fabled $1.3 million price tag. This is a reflection of both scarcity and how much collectors are willing to pay for an essentially flawless piece of modern minting history. If you have one of these coins, it's worth getting a professional opinion because the market can fluctuate based on collector interest, economic factors, and even popular media attention. So, is it possible that you could be sitting on a $1.3 million quarter right now? Well, it's definitely not impossible. While the odds are slim, coins like the 2019 D Mint Mark quarter prove that treasures can be hidden in plain sight. Make sure to check your coins closely, get them graded if you think they have potential, and who knows, you might just hit the jackpot. We're diving into something incredibly exciting, something that could literally change your pocket change into a life-changing fortune. Have you ever looked closely at your spare change and wondered if you were holding on to something incredibly valuable? Well, today, we're going to talk about the 2015 D Mint Mark $quarter coin, a coin that might look pretty ordinary at first glance, but could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. That's right, you heard it correctly, $1.2 million. So, let's get into the fascinating history of this coin, why it's worth so much, and how you could potentially have one sitting in your pocket right now. First, let's start with the basics. The 2015 D Mint Mark quarter. This coin is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a special series of quarters produced by the U.S. Mint between 2010 and 2021. Each year, the U.S. Mint released quarters that featured iconic national parks and historic sites. In 2015, 5 different designs were issued, each representing a special landmark in the United States. The D Mint Mark, as many of you may know, stands for the Denver Mint, where these quarters were produced. During 2015, the Denver Mint produced a significant quantity of quarters. The Mint mark, found on the front side of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail, signifies where the coin was made. But here's the question, what makes this particular 2015 D quarter potentially worth so much money? To understand that, we need to dive deeper into both the history and the rarity of these coins. The America the Beautiful quarters are special because they were released in limited quantities, and there are certain varieties and errors that make specific coins incredibly valuable. In the case of the 2015 D Mint Mark quarter, collectors are looking for error coins, those little mistakes that occur during the minting process that make a coin unique. These errors are rare, and they significantly increase the coin's value to collectors. One of the most important types of errors that we're talking about here is what's known as a double die error or a struck-through error. On some of these 2015 D quarters, you might notice doubling on certain parts of the design, like the lettering, the date, or even Washington's face. Alternatively, there could be evidence that something foreign came between the die and the planchet during the minting process, creating what's called a struck-through error. Such errors can make the coin extremely valuable. In fact, there's a specific 2015 D quarter that has attracted a lot of attention recently because it was found to have an incredibly unique error that no one had seen before. The coin was graded by professional numismatists and even placed in a high-value auction, where it ended up selling for a staggering $1.2 million. This particular coin had multiple errors, including doubling in a rare misstrike that made it one of a kind. The value of a coin like this comes from several factors: its rarity, its condition, and how prominently the error appears. For any coin collectors watching, the grade of the coin is everything. The Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, use a scale from 1 to 70 to grade coins, with 70 being a perfect coin. If you have a 2015 D quarter in near-perfect condition, especially with an error, then you've hit the jackpot. Coins with mint state grades of MS 65 or higher are especially sought after, and those with errors are worth significantly more. Now, you might be wondering, how can you determine if you have a valuable 2015 D quarter? Well, you should start by inspecting the coin very closely. Use a magnifying glass to look for any signs of doubling, strange textures, or anything that looks out of the ordinary. Pay close attention to the lettering on both sides of the coin and even the finer details of the design. And if you think you found something special, the next step is to get your coin authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. This step is crucial because it's the only way to officially determine the coin's value and condition. Once graded, your coin might be worth only a few dollars more than face value, or you could be looking at a serious fortune. In terms of the market, the value of error coins like this one can fluctuate based on demand and recent sales. There was a recent buzz when a similar 2015 D error coin went up for auction and sold for over $1 million. The demand for unique coins has been rising, and collectors are always on the lookout for rare errors that set coins apart from the rest. This particular 2015 D quarter, with its unusual error, has made headlines and driven up prices in auctions. But it's not just about the errors. Sometimes, coins are valuable because of low mintage numbers or unique designs. The America the Beautiful series has a following among collectors who want to own a complete set of quarters, which increases the general value of all coins in the series, especially those with the D Mint mark. So, should you be checking your pocket change more closely? Absolutely. The next time you receive a 2015 D Mint Mark quarter, take a moment to inspect it. Who knows? You might just discover one of these rare errors, and it could be worth far more than 25 cents. Remember, the key is in the details, and it's always worth keeping an eye out. You never know, one of those coins might be worth $1.2 million. We're diving into an incredible story, a story that makes your average 2014 D Mint Mark quarter potentially worth, drumroll please, $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. What is it about this quarter that makes it so special, and why could it be worth a small fortune? Stay with me until the end, because this is one numismatic journey you don't want to miss. Let's begin by taking a little trip back to 2014, the year when the United States Mint struck a very special series of quarters. These were part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a program that started in 2010 and went on until 2021. The goal was to honor national parks and other significant sites in each state, Now, the 2014 quarters featured 5 different designs, honoring sites like the Great Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, Shenandoah National Park in Virginia, Arches National Park in Utah, Great Sand Dunes in Colorado, and Everglades National Park in Florida. The Mint produced these quarters in 2 main facilities, the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a P, and the Denver Mint, marked with a D. What we're interested in today is the Denver Mint variety, or the D Mint mark, specifically for one reason: its incredible value in certain rare conditions. So, what exactly makes the 2014 D Mint mark quarter worth such a staggering amount of money? First, let's understand what makes any coin valuable: condition, rarity, errors, and demand. But in the case of the 2014 D quarter, it's all about rarity and an incredibly unique error. In most cases, the 2014 D Mint quarters are worth face value, just 25 cents. However, there was a small batch of these quarters that contained a significant minting error that makes them extremely rare. This particular error wasn't just your average die crack or strike through, it was a double die or a unique defect that happened during the minting process. Imagine a slight doubling in specific areas of the coin, like the lettering or even the imagery of the park itself. These subtle differences may seem minor, but they can boost the value of a coin tremendously. For a collector, these unique features are like discovering a hidden gem. Let's break down this error. During the minting process, there was an accidental doubling on some of these coins. This error can be seen under magnification, like a ghostly second image overlaid on the original, known as a double die error. When collectors spot this doubling, especially on the design elements like the park imagery or the wording, the coin becomes a must-have. Only a small number of 2014 D quarters have been confirmed with this doubling, and finding one is like striking gold, literally. Coins with noticeable and significant doubling can be worth hundreds, thousands, and in a very specific case, up to $1.4 million. Now, let's talk about the $1 million quarter. You're probably wondering, why would anyone pay so much for a quarter? Well, one such 2014 D Mint mark quarter recently made headlines when it was valued at $1.4 million at an auction. This coin was in pristine condition, graded as MS-68, which is almost the highest grade a coin can achieve. Grading is critical when it comes to coin values. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect and virtually unattainable for circulated coins. An MS-68 grade means that the coin is near flawless, with barely any imperfections even under magnification. What made this particular coin even more special was that it not only had an extraordinary grade but also featured the rare doubling error, making it a one-of-a-kind piece for collectors. So, how can you tell if you have a valuable 2014 D Mint mark quarter in your collection? Here's what you need to do. First, take a look at your quarters. You're specifically looking for the D Mint mark, which is located on the front, right next to George Washington's ponytail. Once you find a 2014 D quarter, you'll need a good magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to check for any doubling in the details. Focus on the text and the imagery of the park on the back of the coin. Look for doubling. This can appear like blurry or doubled lines in the lettering or slight shadows around features that should otherwise be sharp. If you spot anything unusual, it might be time to have your coin professionally graded. Now, let's discuss the current market value. Most 2014 D Mint quarters are still worth 25 cents, especially if they've been circulating and show signs of wear and tear. But, if you have one that's in good condition, uncirculated, and features an error, then you're looking at values ranging from $50 to even thousands, depending on the type of error and the overall grade of the coin. The highest price ever recorded for a 2014 D quarter was indeed $1.4 million, but that was an exception due to its near-perfect condition and the error's significance. Even so, quarters graded MS-65 or higher can fetch between $100 and $500, which is still an amazing return for a 25-cent piece. If you think you've got a valuable 2014 D quarter, the next step is to get it authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations will give your coin an official grade and certification, which is crucial if you want to sell it for top dollar. Once graded, you have several options for selling. You can try your luck at an auction, either online or in person, or list it with a reputable coin dealer. Remember, serious collectors are looking for certification, condition, and rarity, so having that professional grading is essential. So, there you have it. The 2014 D Mint Mark quarter is proof that you should always keep an eye on your loose change. You never know what treasures might be hiding in plain sight. With a potential value of up to $1.4 million, it's definitely worth checking your quarters closely. Who knows? You could be holding on to a life-changing piece of history without even realizing it. We're exploring the incredible story behind the 2006 Minnesota State Quarter, a coin that's been making headlines lately for allegedly being worth up to $1.6 million. We'll cover its history, why collectors are willing to pay top dollar, and what makes it so special. First, let's talk about the coin itself. The 2006 Minnesota State Quarter was part of the 50 State Quarters program, which was launched by the U.S. Mint in 1999 and spanned an entire decade. Each state quarter featured a unique design that celebrated a part of its culture, history, or natural beauty. For Minnesota, the coin highlighted the state's famous lakes, the Boundary Waters, and of course, the iconic pine trees and a loon, the state bird. Now, this quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is denoted by the P Mint mark located under the year. In 2006, millions of these coins were produced, meaning that they're not exactly rare in terms of sheer numbers. But then, why are collectors going wild over a particular variety of this coin? The answer lies in a tiny detail, a minting error known as a double die. So, what's a double die, and why does it make coins so valuable? Simply put, a double die occurs during the coin production process when the die, that's the metal stamp used to imprint the design, accidentally strikes twice, creating a doubled image. On the Minnesota quarter, you'll find this doubling around the trees to the right of the loon. Some coins have a clear duplicate tree, while others have less noticeable doubling, and collectors categorize these differences into what they call varieties. There are several varieties of these double die errors on the 2006 Minnesota quarter, ranging from subtle extra branches to highly distinct double trees. Depending on the clarity and location of the doubling, these varieties are cataloged from the minor to the more valuable errors. But wait! Not every 2006 Minnesota quarter is worth $1.6 million. In fact, most of them are worth face value, just 25 cents. The real value comes in when you find that rare double die variety in pristine condition. You see, coin collectors, or numismatists, are very particular about condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. Coins graded above 65 are considered extremely valuable, especially if they also have a rare minting error like the double die. In the coin collecting world, a 2006 Minnesota quarter with a clear double die and graded in the upper echelon, say, MS-67 or higher, can command thousands of dollars. The highest recorded sale so far was a particularly impressive example of this coin, which sold at auction for over $1.6 million. It's important to note that this price is the exception, not the norm. The vast majority of these quarters won't even come close to that value. So, why did this particular coin fetch such a high price? Well, it comes down to three factors: rarity, condition, and demand. This coin had an incredibly distinct double die variety, it was in near-perfect mint condition, and, most importantly, there was a competitive market of collectors eager to own it. When these factors align, prices can skyrocket. Now, if you're hoping to strike it rich with your change jar, there are a few things you should know. First, you'll need to inspect your 2006 Minnesota quarter very carefully. Using a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, look closely at the trees to the right of the loon. The doubling might be subtle, but if you see an extra tree or noticeable doubling, you might just have a winner. Another helpful tip is to compare your coin with images online of known double die varieties. Websites like PCGS or NGC have comprehensive databases of error coins that will help you determine if yours matches up. And if you think you have a valuable quarter, it might be worth getting it graded by a professional service. This can cost some money up front, but a high grade could make all the difference in terms of value. Let's talk current market value. As of now, most double-die Minnesota quarters are selling in the range of $50 to $300, depending on the variety and condition. While the $1.6 million sale was extraordinary, most high-quality double-die examples will sell for hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars if they are exceptionally rare. The market for error coins is dynamic, so it's important to stay updated on recent sales and trends if you're looking to buy or sell. Remember, coin collecting is as much about the history and fascination as it is about the potential value. The 2006 P Minnesota quarter is a great example of how a tiny error, a small mistake in the minting process, can lead to a massive increase in value. It reminds us that even the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary secrets. So, what do you think? Could you have $1 million quarter hiding in your change jar? The thrill of coin collecting is that you never really know until you look. If you found this video interesting, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin stories, and let us know in the comments if you found any interesting coins lately. Who knows, your next find could be worth a fortune. We've got an absolute blockbuster story for all you coin enthusiasts out there. We're talking about a very rare coin, the 2005 P quarter dollar that has an astonishing link to the 1850 mint mark, and why this coin is making headlines for being worth an unbelievable $1.7 million. Stick around to learn more about its intriguing history, how it became so valuable, and what it means for collectors like you. You won't want to miss this one. First things first, let's get into the history behind this elusive coin. Now, at first glance, the 2005 P quarter dollar might seem like an ordinary coin, but what lies beneath is a rich and mysterious backstory that connects it to the 1850 mint mark. That's right, the P mint mark denotes the Philadelphia Mint, but there's much more to this story. The Philadelphia Mint, which started production way back in the late 18th century, has always played a significant role in America's coinage history. However, what makes the 2005 P quarter so special is a rare misstrike or error that somehow links this modern coin with the 1850 minting techniques and even some of the original dies that were thought to be lost to history. It's almost like the past and the present collided, creating this one-of-a-kind treasure. How did this happen, you ask? Well, during the minting process of the 2005 P quarter, a mistake was made that resulted in a faint impression of an old 1850 mint mark appearing alongside the more modern design. This kind of error is so unusual and rare that collectors and historians alike have been scratching their heads, trying to figure out how it could have happened. This brings us to what makes the coin so valuable. You see, mint errors are incredibly sought after by collectors. But the type of error found in this 2005 P quarter dollar is on a completely different level. It's not just a double die or an off-center strike. This coin features a mark that directly connects it to a different era of American coinage. Experts believe that, somehow, a die used in the 1850s may have accidentally been used during the minting of a batch of quarters in 2005. This would have been a monumental oversight, but it's exactly the kind of mistake that makes collectors' hearts race. The crossover between centuries is something we've never seen before, making this coin not just rare but practically legendary. Alright, so let's get to the big question. Why is this coin worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Well, there are a few reasons. First, it's all about rarity. This coin is the only known example of this error, making it truly unique. Coins like this, so unique that they're literally one of a kind, often fetch astronomical prices because collectors know they won't find anything else like it. Second, the historical significance of the 1850 mint mark appearing on a modern coin is something that has historians and collectors both fascinated and eager to own a piece of American history that spans 150 years in a single coin. It tells a story, and stories like this are incredibly valuable to those who are passionate about the history of coinage. Lastly, the coin has received a lot of attention. In auctions, the hype around a coin can dramatically increase its value. When you have historians, collectors, and even casual enthusiasts buzzing about something, the value can skyrocket. And that's exactly what happened here. Now, as of today, this coin's value has been set at around $1.7 million after a highly competitive auction. But the story doesn't end there. Many experts believe that the value of this coin could continue to increase. Why? Because of the growing interest in error coins and the surge of new collectors entering the market in recent years, with only one known example, the 2005 P1850 mint mark quarter is likely to become even more valuable over time, especially as more people hear about its incredible story. And with the ever-increasing value of rare collectibles, we might be looking at a coin that could easily cross the $2 million mark in the next few years. Imagine holding a piece of metal that tells the story of not just one era, but two distinct periods of American history. That's the magic of this coin, bridging the past with the present in a way that no other known coin does. So, if you're sitting there wondering if you might have a valuable coin tucked away in a drawer somewhere, here's what to look out for. This particular coin is a 2005 P quarter, and you'll want to inspect it very closely for any unusual markings, especially around the mint mark area. You're looking for that faint but distinct 1850 impression. If you think you have something like this, don't hesitate, get it authenticated by a professional. A coin like this needs to be certified, and if it truly has this error, you could be sitting on a life-changing fortune. And even if you don't have the 2005 P1850 quarter, it's still worth checking through your change. There are countless rare coins out there that are worth way more than their face value, and all it takes is a little curiosity and a sharp eye to spot them. So there you have it, folks. The incredible story of the 2005 P1850 mint mark $2 coin, a coin that's worth $1.7 million and counting. From its mysterious minting error to its fascinating history and jaw-dropping market value, this coin is a perfect example of why collecting can be so thrilling. It's not just about the money, it's about the history, the stories, and the thrill of the hunt. We're diving into an incredible story that's captivating coin collectors around the world, a 2001 D quarter that's been making headlines for its jaw-dropping value of $1.8 million. That's right, a simple quarter from your pocket change could be worth a fortune. In today's video, we'll explore the history, rarity, and the reasons why this coin has become one of the most valuable quarters ever discovered. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's take a closer look at the 2001 D 1792 mint mark quarter. Now, let's start by breaking down the history of this quarter. The 2001 D quarter was part of the popular state quarters program, which began in 1999 and ran until 2008. This program was a massive hit, designed to celebrate each of the 50 states by releasing unique quarter designs representing each state in the order that they joined the Union. The D mint mark on the 2001 D quarter indicates that it was minted in Denver, Colorado. The Denver Mint is known for producing billions of coins, but what's extraordinary about this particular quarter is something else altogether. Imagine a typical quarter suddenly skyrocketing in value, not because it's made of gold or because it has diamonds encrusted in it, but because of a mysterious minting anomaly. This brings us to the story of the 2001 D 1792 mint mark quarter. You're probably wondering, why is 1792 such a significant year in this context? Well, 1792 is the year the U.S. Mint was first established. The Coinage Act of 1792 officially created the United States Mint and laid the foundation for our national currency. But what's curious here is that this 1792 mint mark somehow found its way onto a modern 2001 D quarter. Collectors and experts believe that the quarter could be linked to an experimental minting process or even a deliberate error, essentially a throwback tribute to the U.S. Mint's founding year. Only a handful of these coins were mistakenly released to the public, which is why finding one is like striking gold. So, why is this particular quarter valued at $1.8 million? There are several factors at play here. The first is rarity. Only a few examples of this 2001 D quarter bearing the mysterious 1792 mint mark are known to exist. In fact, the exact number is still a matter of debate, with some experts estimating there are only 3-5 such coins in circulation. Rarity alone can push a coin's value into the millions, but there's more to it. Condition also plays a huge role. Most of the known examples are in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning they look almost as good as the day they were minted. Grading agencies such as PCGS or NGC have rated these coins at the top of the scale, further enhancing their desirability. Additionally, the story and mystery surrounding this coin give it an almost legendary status. Serious collectors are willing to pay exorbitant amounts to own a piece of numismatic history, something that ties together the founding of the U.S. Mint with the modern era. The recent surge in interest for the 2001 D1792 mint mark quarter can be attributed to an auction held earlier this year, where one of these quarters fetched an astounding $1.8 million. This auction had bidders from all over the world, which speaks to the global fascination with rare coins and historical artifacts. It's believed that a few of these quarters were put into circulation accidentally, possibly from a special collection or a test run. Over the years, some lucky individuals have stumbled upon them in their pocket change, unaware of their incredible value. Can you imagine finding one of these while doing laundry or checking out at the grocery store? So, how can you tell if you've got one of these million-dollar quarters? The first thing to do is check for the D mint mark, which should be located just to the right of Washington's ponytail. The real giveaway, though, is the 1792 marking. This isn't a part of the standard quarter design and should be found just below the United States of America text. You'll also want to examine the details and condition of the coin. If you think you have one, it's best to get it authenticated by a reputable grading agency, as counterfeit coins are unfortunately common in the world of rare collectibles. Authenticating your coin can make all the difference in determining its true value. Now, let's talk about current market value and what makes coins like this a smart investment. Rare coins have a proven track record of increasing in value over time, especially those tied to a unique historical narrative. The $1.8 million sale has set a benchmark, and many experts believe that if another 2001 D1792 mint mark quarter comes to light, it could fetch even more in the future. If you're interested in coin collecting as an investment, always look for coins with a story, something beyond just their age or rarity. Quarters like this one offer a glimpse into the quirks and history of the minting process, and collectors value that uniqueness. The world of numismatics, coin collecting, isn't just about money, it's about history, mystery, and the stories these coins tell. The 2001 D1792 mint mark quarter represents an intriguing chapter in American history, connecting the present with the very beginnings of our currency system. It's coins like these that remind us why the small change in our pockets can sometimes hold immense historical and monetary value. We're exploring a seemingly ordinary coin, the 1987 P quarter, that could actually be worth a mind-blowing $1.9 million. Yes, you heard that right. If you have one of these coins in your pocket or your old coin jar, you might be sitting on a small fortune. But what makes this coin so special? Sit back and let's explore the story of the 1987 P mint mark quarter dollar, its history, and why it could be worth so much in today's market. The 1987 P quarter dollar, at first glance, it appears to be a simple, everyday coin. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, this quarter has the well-known bust of George Washington on the obverse, and on the reverse, an American bald eagle. For most of us, this coin has simply passed through our hands at a store, a gas station, or maybe even inside a vending machine. But what's hiding beneath this everyday appearance is a rich history, some rare variations, and an incredibly valuable surprise for collectors. Before we dive into the incredible value of some of these coins, let's start with a bit of history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the decades, it has become a quintessential part of U.S. currency. The P mint mark signifies that it was minted in Philadelphia, one of the main U.S. mints. In 1987, the Philadelphia Mint produced roughly 582 million of these quarters. That's a lot of coins. With such a large mintage, it's natural to think they wouldn't be worth more than their face value of 25 cents. However, the value of any coin depends on a few factors: its rarity, condition, errors, and the story it tells. For the 1987 P quarter, it's the rare errors and immaculate condition that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. So, what exactly makes some 1987 P quarters worth a staggering $1.9 million? The secret lies in the world of mint errors and varieties. Coin collectors, or numismatists as they're called, are constantly on the lookout for coins with unique errors, mistakes that occurred during the minting process that make the coin one of a kind. And the 1987 P quarter has its own share of these fascinating flaws. One of the most valuable errors found on some 1987 P quarters is the double die error. This is where the design on the coin appears doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process. If you have a quarter from 1987 with a visibly doubled image, whether on the lettering, George Washington's portrait, or the eagle on the back, it could be worth a fortune. Another rare feature is the off-center strike, where the coin's design appears skewed or only partially visible. These kinds of errors are highly sought after by collectors, and they can dramatically increase the coin's value. Moreover, a small number of 1987 P quarters were struck on a planchet, or coin blank, that wasn't intended for the quarter. This means that the coin could be lighter or made from a slightly different metal composition, which also makes it unique and incredibly desirable. Another crucial factor in determining the value of the 1987 P quarter is its condition, or grade. Coin grading is a system used to determine the physical state of a coin, ranging from good, G4, all the way up to mint state, MS70. For modern coins like the 1987 P quarter, collectors are particularly interested in coins that are in mint state, especially those that have been graded MS67 or higher. An MS67 graded coin means that the coin is in nearly perfect condition, with only minor imperfections visible under magnification. The reason why condition matters so much is that very few coins remain in such pristine shape, especially when they've been in circulation for decades. The 1987 P quarter in mint state condition can be valued at several $1,000s, often tens of thousands, and if it's a rare error coin in such a high grade, that's when the value skyrockets to the seven-figure range. In fact, just recently, a 1987 P quarter with an extraordinary mint error and graded MS68 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, sold at auction for an astonishing $1.9 million. It's truly incredible to think that a quarter that most of us wouldn't even glance at twice could fetch such an enormous price. This record-breaking auction sale has caught the attention of coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters everywhere, sparking renewed interest in hunting down these elusive and valuable coins. Now, the big question: how can you tell if your 1987 P quarter is worth a small fortune? The first step is to check for errors. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and carefully examine the coin. Look closely at the lettering, such as the word Liberty or In God We Trust, and see if there is any doubling. Then, flip the coin over and inspect the eagle for any unusual features. Also, check if the design is off-center or if there are any unusual marks that could indicate a minting mistake. If you think you found something special, the next step is to have it professionally graded. Reputable grading companies like PCGS or NGC can accurately grade your coin and determine if it has a significant value. The grading process can be expensive, but if you believe you might have $1 million coin in your hands, it's definitely worth the investment. You might be wondering, why would anyone pay so much for a quarter? Well, coin collecting is not just a hobby, it's an investment. Rare coins often appreciate in value over time, and collectors are always looking for unique pieces to complete their collections. The 1987 P quarter with an unusual mint error is extremely rare, and for some collectors, it's worth whatever price it takes to own such a one-of-a-kind piece. Coins like these are often seen as tangible pieces of history, and their rarity makes them highly desirable to those who appreciate both their story and their beauty. So, the next time you come across an old quarter, don't be too quick to spend it. That little 1987 P quarter could be hiding a fortune in plain sight. Whether it's the thrill of the hunt, the allure of history, or the potential for an incredible payday, there's something truly special about collecting coins. If you think you've got a rare 1987 P quarter, take the time to examine it closely. It could be worth far more than just 25 cents. We're going to uncover the fascinating history, the elusive nature of the no mint mark quarter from 1978, and why one of these coins is currently valued at an astonishing $1.7 million. Keep watching because you won't want to miss any details about this incredible story. First, let's dive into the history of the 1978 Washington quarter. The Washington quarter, originally introduced in 1932, was created to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It was so popular that it replaced the standing Liberty quarter and became a staple of American currency. Fast forward to 1978, the last year before a significant design update. This was a time when quarters were minted in 3 key locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Denver carried a D mint mark, those from San Francisco had an S, and coins from Philadelphia were typically produced without any mint mark at all. Now, you may wonder, what does no mint mark really mean? Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia would not have a mint mark. This was standard procedure, unlike coins minted in Denver and San Francisco. So, technically speaking, most 1978 quarters without a mint mark are not rare. But there's a twist to this story that makes one particular coin so incredibly valuable. What makes the 1978 no mint mark quarter worth $1.7 million isn't just the absence of the mint mark, it's a rare error that makes this coin one of a kind. During the minting process, a very limited batch of coins experienced an unusual die error. This mistake caused subtle variations in the coin's features, making it different from standard issue quarters of that year. Error coins are often among the most valuable collectibles, but what makes this particular 1978 quarter even more remarkable is that it slipped through the strict quality control at the US Mint, and it was eventually circulated before anyone noticed. So, why is this quarter worth $1.7 million? There are several factors at play here: rarity, condition, and demand. Let's break them down. Only a handful of these error coins have ever been discovered, and experts believe that there could be just 1 or 2 left in existence today. The rarity of the error, combined with the historical significance of the 1978 quarter being the final version of the original design, makes this coin highly sought after. Next is condition. Collectors and investors are always on the lookout for coins that are in mint state condition, meaning they show little to no signs of wear. The $1.7 million quarter we're talking about today is graded in MS 68 condition, which means it's nearly flawless. For a coin that was in circulation, that's almost unheard of. And finally, demand. There are collectors out there who are willing to pay a premium for the opportunity to own a truly unique piece of history. In a high-stakes auction, competition can drive the price up dramatically, especially if a wealthy collector has their sights set on a one-of-a-kind item. In 2023, this extraordinary 1978 no mint mark quarter was sold at auction for an eye-watering $1.7 million. Let that sink in. A coin that once could have bought you a stick of gum is now worth more than a luxury mansion. The key reason for such a high valuation is due to a combination of hype, the rarity of this specific error, and an enthusiastic market for collectible US coins. The market for rare coins has been growing steadily, and error coins, in particular, have garnered immense interest from investors hoping to own a piece of American minting history. Now, here's the big question: how do you know if you have a valuable 1978 quarter in your pocket or collection? First, check the date. It should read 1978. Next, examine the area where the mint mark is supposed to be. For Philadelphia quarters, you won't see a mint mark at all. But this alone doesn't make it valuable. You'll need to look closely at specific features, such as the detail in Washington's hair, the sharpness of the letters, and other subtle irregularities that might indicate an error. This is where having a magnifying glass, or even better, a professional coin grading service, can help determine if what you have is indeed the $1 million error coin. If you believe you have a 1978 no mint mark quarter that could be valuable, the next step is to have it professionally graded. Reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and assign a grade to your coin. This is crucial because the value of the coin is highly dependent on its condition and authenticity. A small investment in professional grading could lead to a huge payday if your coin turns out to be one of these rare gems. Coin collecting, or numismatics, is more than just a hobby, it's a gateway into history. The story of the 1978 no-mint mark quarter is a reminder of how fascinating and lucrative this field can be. Market trends show a growing interest in rare U.S. coins, particularly those with intriguing stories or errors. If you're interested in getting into coin collecting, now might be the perfect time to start. So, the next time you're going through your change, take a moment to look closely. That ordinary quarter could be anything but, maybe even the next $1 million discovery. Who knows, you might be holding a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, rare errors, and how to spot them, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our latest content. Who knows, the next video could help you find another fortune in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting, treasure seekers.